This is the notes video for Chapter 3, Lesson 4, Part 5 notes. Today, we are making equations from a graph. Our learning target is I can identify the slope and y-intercept of a graph and use that. This is the notes video for Chapter 3, Lesson 4, Part 5. Today, we're making equations from a graph. So our learning target is I can identify the slope and y-intercept of a graph and use that to write a linear equation in slope-intercept form. Example 3 in your book on page 200 says, write an equation in slope-intercept form for the graph shown. Okay, so I see that the y-intercept is 4. I'm going to use blue to circle that. Because the line intercepts the y-axis at positive 4 units. So if you start at the origin and count up 1, 2, 3, 4, that's why the y-intercept is 4. So y-intercept equals b, and b equals 4. Okay, so now I need to find the slope. So the slope, if you go from this point to this point, you go down 1 unit and to the right 2 units. So negative 1 over 2. So slope equals m, which equals negative 1 over 2. So then m is negative 1/2, and b is 4. So if I were to substitute that into my slope-intercept form equation, y equals mx plus b, my equation will be y equals negative 1/2 x plus 4. So now I'm going to check to see if we were right. I'm going to move this over and off to the side. And it's the same thing. So I like that the book color-coded it. It did green for the slope. And then it did blue for the y-intercept. Okay, let's try one on our own. So it says write an equation in slope-intercept form for the graph. So let's write an equation, and we need to find what the y-intercept is. And we have to find what the slope is. So when I look at this equation, I see that the line crosses the y-axis at negative 2 units from the origin, so 1, 2 units. So it would be a negative 2. So b is equal to negative 2. And then the slope, I can do the up and down, but let's do rise over run with yellow. So if I go up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 units up. So rise over run. And how many units over? 1, 2, 3 units to the right. It's 5 over 3. So my slope is just 5/3, or 5 over 3. Okay, so m equals 5 over 3. Then I can substitute it into my y equals mx plus b equation. So y equals 5/3 x plus b, which is negative 2. So that's my equation for this problem. Okay, so for example 4, It says Student Council is selling t-shirts during Spirit Week. It costs $20 for design and $5 to print each shirt. The cost Y to print X shirts is given by Y equals 5X plus 20. So it says to graph the Y equals 5X plus 20 using the slope and Y-intercept. So this one's kind of the opposite, but it shows that it's when we find the slope, the y-intercept is 20 and the slope is 5 because it goes up 5 over 1, up 5 over 1 to the right. It says graph the y-intercept, so it's 0, 20, and then going up 5 over 1. Write the slope 5 as 5 over 1. Use it to locate a second point on the graph, go up 5 units, and write 1. Then draw a line through the points. So that's what this example did.